She finds a women's advocacy group to take her case. Their lawyer is aggressive, painting me as controlling and abusive, demanding alimony, child support, the house. Angela plays the victim while tears in court. Stories about my rage issues. Claims I'm trying to punish her for standing up to me. Hey there, this is Angela. I shuffled through another stack of rejection letters at my parents' kitchen table. 2 years since graduation, and my fancy college diploma mocks me from its frame on the wall. The student loan statements pile up, each one thicker than the last. My fingers tremble as I open the newest one, another 5-figure reminder of my failed dreams. Any luck with those job applications? Mom hovers near the doorway, coffee mug clutched in her hands. The concern in her voice grates on my nerves. Not yet. I minimize the tab showing my dwindling bank account, but my online business is picking up. Those Amazon and eBay sales are really promising. Sweetie, you need a real job. Your father and I can't. I'm going grocery shopping, I cut her off, grabbing my purse. The walls of their house squeeze tighter each day. At least at the store, nobody questions my life choices. The fluorescent lights cast harsh shadows in the produce aisle. My stomach growls, I've been skipping meals to save money. A perfectly ripe avocado catches my eye, but the price makes me wince. I'm returning it to the pile when I notice him, tall, well-dressed, unable to keep his eyes off me. These prices are criminal, he says, approaching with an easy smile. His watch probably costs more than my entire wardrobe. Everything's criminal these days. I straighten up, conscious of how my sundress hugs my curves. I'm Richie. He extends his hand, confidence radiating from every pore. Angela. Our hands touch. Electric? His fingers linger a moment too long. Would you like to get coffee? I promise better conversation than produce prices. My phone buzzes with a bank alert, another overdraft fee. I study his earnest expression, his expensive clothes, the way he carries himself like someone who's never worried about money. Coffee sounds perfect. 1 coffee becomes 3. Hours vanish in comfortable conversation. He listens, genuinely interested in my fabricated online business ventures. I sprinkle in enough real details about dropshipping and profit margins to sound legitimate. His eyes never leave my face. Another round? He asks as the cafe lights dim. I should go. I gather my purse reluctantly. Dinner tomorrow? Hope fills his voice. I know a great Italian place. Our first dinner stretches into daily texts. Texts transform into nightly calls where we talk until sunrise. His messages pop up throughout the day. Can't stop thinking about you. Miss your smile. When can I see you again? I start spending evenings at his place. The first time I cook, his kitchen intimidates me with its gleaming appliances and granite countertops. But the pasta sauce simmers perfectly, filling his apartment with garlic and herbs. This is incredible. He moans around a forkful. Where'd you learn to cook like this? Natural talent. I serve him seconds, already planning tomorrow's menu. My mother insisted I learn the basics. Days blend together. My clothes migrate to his closet one piece at a time. My toothbrush appears in his bathroom. He works long hours as a supervisor, giving me free rein of his space. I fill his fridge with home-cooked meals, his apartment with the scent of fresh-baked cookies. His friends start dropping by for dinner. I serve them my best dishes, charm them with stories, make sure everyone's glass stays full. They embrace me immediately, treating me like I've always been part of their circle. You're a godsend, one friend's girlfriend tells me during a weekend gathering. We've never seen Richie so happy. I beam at the compliment, watching him chat with his family across the room. They've welcomed me to weekend brunches, family cookouts, holiday plans already in the works. His mother shares secret family recipes. His sister invites me shopping. Each evening, I greet him with a warm meal and warmer smile. His exhaustion from work melts away as he tells me about his day. I've created the perfect home atmosphere, become the perfect girlfriend. When he kisses me goodnight, I know I've found my escape. Here, in his world, I'm not the unemployed college grad drowning in debt. I'm the successful entrepreneur, the amazing cook, the life of every party. His friends adore me. His family loves me. And Richie? He looks at me like I'm everything he's ever wanted. The life I've dreamed of stretches before me, finally within reach. All I have to do is keep playing my part. Hey, Richie here. I check my phone between meetings. Another 12-hour day stretches ahead. Being a supervisor at 32 means constant overtime, but the six-figure paycheck makes it worth it. My team needs those quarterly reports, and the CEO expects nothing short of excellence. Big deadline. My assistant drops another stack of files on my desk. Always. I rub my tired eyes. The numbers blur together, but hitting those targets means bonuses for everyone. Last year's overtime pushed me over $100,000, and this year promises more. My phone lights up with Angela's text. She's making dinner again. The thought of her cooking beats any restaurant, a bright spot after endless spreadsheets and performance reviews. 3 months ago, she appeared in my life like a dream. Now she practically lives at my place. I never officially asked her to move in. It happened naturally, piece by piece. Her clothes fill my closet. Her perfume lingers in my sheets. Most nights, I come home to the smell of something amazing cooking. You're spoiling me, I tell her, savoring a bite of perfectly seasoned steak. You deserve it after those long hours. She refills my wine glass, her smile warming the room. But something nags at me. Last week, she mentioned needing help with student loans. I offered to look at her budget, but she changed the subject. Today, she texts about an unexpected bill. I hate asking, she writes, but could you help? My online sales are slow this month. I pause, thumb hovering over my phone. My best friend Mark's voice echoes in my head. Dude, she's perfect. Don't mess this up by being cheap. How much? I reply. The figure makes me wince. But before I can respond, Mark's calling. Your girl's stressing about bills, man. His tone carries an edge of accusation. She shouldn't have to worry about that stuff with what you make. She told you about that. We talk. She needs help. Don't be that guy. The conversation sits wrong in my stomach. When did they start talking about personal matters? And why pressure me through my friends? Weekend parties become a regular thing. Angela cooks enough to feed an army, plays the perfect hostess. Everyone loves her, maybe too much. I watch her work the room, touching arms, laughing at jokes, always the center of attention. Your girl's something else, Mark says, eyes following her across the room. Yeah. I down my beer, noticing how she lingers near him, their heads close in conversation. Later, I try to discuss it. You seem pretty friendly with Mark tonight. Seriously? Her eyes flash. I'm being nice to your friends, and you're getting jealous? Real mature, Richie. I'm not jealous. I cook, I clean, I make your friends and family love me, and this is what I get? Tears well up in her eyes. Maybe I should go back to my parents' house. No, wait, panic rises in my throat. I'm sorry. You're right. I'm being stupid. She storms off to bed anyway. I spend the night on the couch, replaying the evening. Am I seeing things that aren't there? The next morning, she acts like nothing happened. The pattern repeats. She'll ask for money, and if I hesitate, suddenly my friends know about it. They give me grief, tell me how lucky I am to have her. When I question anything, she turns it around, makes me feel like the bad guy. But she keeps my house running perfectly. My family adores her. My friends think I've hit the jackpot. The food is amazing, the parties are legendary, and most nights end with the kind of passion I've only dreamed about. Still, doubt creeps in. The way she manipulates situations turns my friends against me when she doesn't get her way. How she can flip from anger to tears in seconds. Her mysterious online business that never seems to turn a profit. I should pay attention to these red flags. I should ask harder questions. But every time I try, she knows exactly how to make me forget my concerns. And maybe that's the biggest red flag of all. I stare at the 2 pink lines on the pregnancy test, my heart racing. For months into our relationship, and here's my golden ticket. The bathroom tiles cool my feet as I plan my next move. Timing is everything. Richie? My voice quivers perfectly when he comes home. We need to talk. His face drains of color when I show him the test. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi. I count the seconds before his shock transforms into a smile. We're having a baby? His voice cracks with emotion. Are you happy? I whisper, though I already see the answer glowing in his eyes. He lifts me off the ground, spinning us both around the kitchen. Happy? I'm ecstatic. The next few weeks pass in a blur of doctor's appointments and prenatal vitamins. I play my role perfectly, the glowing mother-to-be. But something gnaws at my insides. We need to secure this properly. My mother called today, I mentioned over dinner. She's worried about the baby being born out of wedlock. Richie's fork pauses halfway to his mouth. Oh, it's not the 1950s anymore, but I push my food around the plate. She's old-fashioned. And honestly, this child deserves a proper family. The conversation plants its seed. Each day, I water it with subtle hints. Each week, I pressure harder. His resistance weakens under my relentless campaign. What about a small wedding? He suggests finally. Nothing fancy, just family and close friends? Victory tastes sweet. The ceremony comes together quickly. A modest affair at a local venue. His family beams with pride. My parents exhale with relief. Our friends celebrate with enthusiasm, especially Mark, who watches me walk down the aisle with hungry eyes. Marriage changes nothing and everything. My manipulation tactics evolve, refined by practice. Start an argument in the morning over something trivial. His dirty socks on the floor. A text from a female coworker. You don't respect me. I screech, slamming doors. He spends the day stewing in guilt. By evening, I'm ready for phase 2. Tears stream down my face as I apologize. I'm so sorry, I sob. These hormones make me crazy. You're so patient with me. The make-up intimacy blazes with intensity. Something about the fighting ignites a fire between us. I've memorized this dance, the argument, the tears, the passionate reconciliation. Each performance cements my control. Weekends still revolve around entertaining. I maintain my role as the perfect hostess, though my expanding belly limits my movements. Our house fills with friends, laughter, the aroma of my cooking. You're glowing, our guests gush. If they only knew how calculated each smile is, how rehearsed each gesture. Mark lingers after parties, helping clean up while Richie crashes early, exhausted from work. Our conversations grow longer, more intimate. A backup plan never hurts. Does he appreciate you enough? Mark asks one night, his hand brushing mine as I pass him a dish to dry. I let my smile waver. He tries. The pregnancy progresses. I keep everyone dancing to my tune, Richie with his guilt and devotion, Mark with his barely concealed desire, our friends with their admiration of our perfect life. In quiet moments, I catch Richie watching me with pure love in his eyes. He touches my belly, talks to our growing child, plans for our future. His complete trust in me almost sparks regret. Almost. But I've worked too hard to build this life. The comfortable house, the secure marriage, the adoring husband, the baby on the way, every piece positioned precisely where I need it. I love you, he murmurs each night, holding me close. I love you too, I reply, and in those moments, between the lies and manipulation, maybe I do. Or maybe I love what he represents: security, stability, status. The baby kicks beneath my ribs, a reminder of my ultimate insurance policy. Soon, very soon, everything will be permanently secured. Sunday dinners with Mom have gotten tense lately. Angela's been snapping at every comment, and Mom can't seem to stop giving advice. I try playing peacekeeper, but it's getting worse each week. Today, Mom's hovering around the kitchen while Angela heats up the baby's bottle. Emily's cranky, and Angela's patience is already thin. She might sleep better if you switch to the organic formula I recommended. Mom starts in, and I notice she's still using that pacifier. At 15 months, you really should, Ruth. Angela's voice has that edge. I've got this under control. I'm only trying to help, dear. When I raised Richie, yeah, well, this isn't Richie. Angela spins around, and she's not your grandchild anyway, so back off. The bottle crashes to the floor. Mom's face goes white. Angela grabs her purse and leaves. The silence in the kitchen is deafening. I take a week off work, tell them it's a family emergency. Angela's staying at her parents'. The DNA test results arrive faster than expected. Not my child. Mark stops by, says he's worried about Angela. Something in his expression makes my stomach turn. When I confront him, the truth spills out, but he's not the father either. The revelations keep coming. Steve, Dave, guys I've known for years, shared beers with, trusted. My lawyer says to document everything. Angela refuses to leave the house when she learns I'm filing for divorce. Shows up with boxes while I'm at work, moves back in. Says she'll claim abuse if I try to force her out. You can't prove anything, she says, settling onto our couch like nothing's changed. And no judge will deny alimony or child support. She finds a women's advocacy group to take her case. Their lawyer is aggressive, painting me as controlling and abusive. Demanding alimony, child support, the house. Angela plays the victim while tears in court. Stories about my rage issues. Claims I'm trying to punish her for standing up to me. But evidence has a way of surfacing. Mark caves first, sharing text messages that reveal her manipulation. Steve's wife finds old texts, turns them over. Bank records show money transfers, hotel charges. The friend group implodes as everyone takes sides. Her lawyer tries painting the guys as bitter ex-friends conspiring against her. But there's too much evidence, too many witnesses. The final DNA test confirms what we already know: Dave the father. His fiancée leaves him the same day. The judge sees through Angela's act. No alimony. No child support. The house stays mine. Her carefully constructed stories crumble under cross-examination. The divorce gets finalized. Angela moves in with her parents, taking Emily, legally hers, even if the past 15 months meant nothing to her. The friend group's in shambles. Trust is a foreign concept now. My lawyer hands me the final paperwork. Try to think of it as a fresh start. But fresh starts come with price tags, and some debts can't be measured in dollars. My parents' spare room feels smaller than I remember. Emily's crib takes up most of the space, and my boxes from Richie's house line the walls. Mom keeps giving me these looks, part pity, part disappointment. Dad barely speaks to me. The advocacy group called. Mom says from the doorway. They want to discuss appeal options. No point. I fold another onesie, add it to Emily's drawer. Judge made his decision. The DNA tests blew everything apart. Not Richie. Not Mark. Dave, the last person I expected to step up. His fiancée left him when the results came out. Now he's talking about custody rights. I deserve to be in my daughter's life, he said last week. His lawyer sent papers yesterday. My phone buzzes. Another message from Mark. Probably more guilt-ridden apologies. Steve's wife keeps texting too, switching between threats and attempts at understanding. I've blocked most of our old friends. Easier than dealing with their judgment. Emily doesn't understand why we don't see Uncle Richie anymore. She reaches for him when we pass his car in town. 15 months is forever to a baby. Long enough to form attachments I never considered when this all started. The job search isn't going well. My degree is collecting dust, and small towns have long memories. Every interview ends the same way. They'll keep my resume on file. Even the advocacy group that defended me doesn't want me for their admin position. Dave drops by with child support money. We try making small talk, but there's too much wreckage between us. His eyes keep drifting to Emily, studying her features, looking for himself in her face. My lawyer thinks we should set up a formal visitation schedule, he says. She barely knows you. Whose fault is that? He has a point. I've made so many messes, hurt so many people. The perfect life I tried building collapsed under its own lies. Now I'm back where I started, living with my parents, drowning in debt, but with a baby this time. Richie sold the house. Moved to the city, according to his mother. She still shops at my parents' store, but pretends not to see me. Can't blame her. I destroyed her son's life, her chance at being a grandmother. The friend group scattered. Mark moved away. Steve and his wife are trying to work things out. Everyone else chose sides or disappeared entirely. Small town dynamics. You can't have this much drama without fallout. Emily's starting to walk now, toddling around my parents' house like she owns it. Mom helps with childcare while I look for work. Dad's warming up slowly, can't resist his granddaughter's smile. But things won't ever be the same. Dave's lawyer keeps pushing for joint custody. Says a child needs both parents. The irony isn't lost on me. I used the same argument to pressure Richie into marriage, back when everyone thought Emily was his. My old life feels like a dream sometimes. The beautiful house, the perfect marriage, the adoring husband. All built on lies that seemed so manageable at the time. One little deception leading to another until everything spiraled beyond control. Some nights, after Emily's asleep, I scroll through old photos. Holiday parties at our house, family dinners, weekend gatherings. All those smiling faces, none of them knowing the truth underneath. Including me, in a way. You can lie to yourself so long you start believing it. Mom says I need therapy to work on myself before dating again. She's probably right. The patterns that got me here didn't start with Richie. But therapy costs money, and right now every spare dollar goes to Emily. Dave's trying to be a father, in his awkward way. Brings diapers, asks about her schedule. We're both learning as we go, trying to build something real from the ruins of all our lies. The hardest part isn't the judgment or the loneliness or even the struggle to rebuild. It's knowing that every choice I made, every lie I told, will affect Emily. She'll grow up with the weight of my mistakes shaping her story.